want in jail. How do you feel? Coming up as a nigga in a cash game, living in the fast lane. I'm for real.
Love the way you activate your hips and push your ass out. Got a nigga wanting it so bad I'm about to pass out. Wanna dig you, and I can't even lie about it, baby. Just alleviate your clothes, time to fly about it. Catch you at a club, oh shit, you got me feeling. Body talking shit to me, but I can't comprehend the meaning. Now if you wanna roll with me, then this your chance. Do an 80 on the freeway, police catch me if you can. Forgive me, I'm a rider, still I'm just a simple man. All I want is money, fuck the fame, I'm a simple man. Mr. International, player with the passport. Just like a ladder, bitch, get you anything you ask for. It's either him or me. Champagne, Hennessy, favorite of my homies when we floss on our enemies. Witness as we creep to a low speed. Peep with a whole need. Pump some more weed, bump, you don't need. Approaching hoochies with a passion, been a long day, but I've been driven by attraction in a strong way. Your body is banging, baby, I love it when you're flown it. Time to give it to daddy, nigga, now tell me how you want it.
How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up as a nigga in the cash game, living in the fast lane. I'm for real. How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up as a nigga in the cash game, I'm living in the fast lane. I'm for real.
Tell me, is it cool or fuck? Does you think I come to talk, am I a fool or what? Positions on the floor, it's like erotic, ironic.
Hey everybody, this is Christine from Turn this fan on. Now that I started working, making better money, I should be able to find somebody to fix my damn air conditioner on my house. Anyway, just an update. First of all, I have some little girl, some ghetto name, last name Banks, not Freesa or some bullshit, probably calling up demons, making some, she told me shut up fat bitch, all that, because I made a video about the girl who had the accident, which I guess the MTI, the old job, was mad, so that's why they fired me. It don't matter. I had already took a drug test and I already had took a drive test for the job I already went driving for now. So anyway, and going to New York is cool. It's a little hard on sleeping at night, but it's cool. Anyway, so wow, you would not believe, just got a call. I'm gonna get specifics, and when I put this video up, I'm gonna put it in the comment or in the description of the charges. But they're gonna charge that girl that was working for MTI that had the accident and ran into the semi truck. They're charging her and the guy that was driving a semi truck something about, they're charging him for making a turn, and they're charging both like a reckless driving. But they're charging her for not driving with a commercial license, for not checking her tires, for not filling out a form, for not making sure it had brake fluid. Wow. She's getting 6 charges. And that's just from College Park Police. That's not from the DOT, the Department of Transportation, not from the MCCD, which is the Motor Carrier Compliance Division. And she could probably get something from the GSP, Georgia Safety Patrol. Wow. That's just them. Wow. And then College Park is talking about maybe doing charges against MTI too for having her out there driving a bus on their streets without the license. This is becoming very, very, way more intense than I thought. Way more intense than I thought. But like I said, my mother and my father, if I was, driving a bus or wanted to drive a bus, they would make sure I had the license. They would never have allowed me. I don't care if I'm 58. They would have never allowed me. They would have. See, I told you, my dad's a cop. I grew up with a cop, and I grew up with like a drill sergeant. It's a lot of stuff me and my sisters didn't do, because you was gonna get your ass kicked or you was gonna go to jail. My dad called somebody to come and arrest you his damn self. This is a very crazy situation, but It all goes back to you got to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to be doing stuff that's out of order, and not you shouldn't be out of pocket. This is. I'm just so happy that I have me a new job. I'm just so happy that things are still moving right along for Chris, and I'm just so happy that what I have always said, at first I had no confidence in the state of Georgia because I know for a fact not even a third of the stuff, not even an eighth of the stuff that NTI was doing when I first got there, that shit wouldn't fly in California. Because drivers call in on their companies over there. You gonna be right. You're gonna be right. So, I just don't understand, but now I actually have more confidence in the state of Georgia because at first I thought that Mike had, some paying somebody off at Georgia DOT or the motor carrier or the Georgia State Patrol, and now on the news little comment section on some of the news stories, a lot of people are saying maybe he was paying off Kasim Reed or the people on the city council, and that's how he was going to get that run where he would have been making $151,000. Some reports say $151,000, some reports say $600,000, picking up people from Buckhead area, bringing them down to the airport, which he just hired like a whole bunch of people, and I almost can guarantee that all of them don't have a commercial license, because one guy, his name was Paul, like almost something D Miami. He was from Africa, some country in Africa. I later found out that was Mike's friend, because I wrote an incident report about it, and that was that Saturday when I first came back to work after it happened. He wanted me to train him. No, he don't have a commercial license. I told the guy I'm not gonna be responsible, because if you have an accident, they're never gonna be able to trace it back to me. I'm not being responsible. So I sent him home. But Mike had hired a whole bunch of people just recently because he had said he was getting some type of run, and I guess it's that run, and that is so crazy. Now they need to go after that girl Sharon that ran into that barbecue building off of Virginia Avenue. They need to go after her because she ran into that, didn't tell the company. Then she knew they had a police report. I don't even know if she have a license. She might not even have a commercial license. Then she ran into something inside the airport. She ran into one of those poles made out of cement. Wow, this story is just blowing up and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just thank God that I do keep my license up to date. I thank God that I exercise so I keep my blood pressure down, and I just thank God that when I go take my test at the DOT, I pass my physical. I am telling you, this story is getting to be so intriguing. It's very intriguing for me. It's very, very, very intriguing. Look at my Lakers. Y'all know who I love, my Lakers. Anyway, this is a very intriguing story. It's becoming more and more interesting as the days go by. See my sign I got on the wall? You can't read it, I don't think. It says, can't read it. Give generously because you're blessed. Be blessed because you give generously. That's all I don't try to do dirt to people, because I don't do dirt to people. I just try to be my own little self, going on with my life. Oh, another thing on this whole story, which is the reason why I believe this is happening. There was a driver named Christopher Scott. He only worked there on the weekends at MTI, but he worked at another company, another bigger company, which they do what they're supposed to do. My husband retired from there. Anyway, he was just working at MTI on the weekends, and a bus had hit him. This guy, he asked to be my friend on Facebook, and he just started telling me all type of stuff that had happened to him since he got hit by the bus. How MTI doesn't want to pay his medical bills, and he was at work at MTI, and the ambulance had to pick him up off the ground and take him to the hospital. And MTI does not want to pay his ambulance bill, which is $726, and that their workers' comp insurance is not trying to pay him for the time that he's been off of work, and he lost his job at the other place because he couldn't go to work because he was hurt because he was hit by another bus. This is crazy. This is crazy. MTI, you guys, y'all need to get it together, because you are doing stuff towards people, and you got to think about it. God don't like ugly, and everything that I'm saying, I'm not making up stuff. I'm not coming up with new stuff to say. I'm not just pulling stuff out my ass to say about you. Everything that I'm saying is documented. And this right here about this girl, Yolanda Bowles, is documented. And I just thank Jesus, because I really had no confidence in the state of Georgia as far as people who have commercial license, because I was feeling like the state of Georgia was just letting anybody do whatever they wanted to do behind the wheel of a bus, because I was just like, I couldn't believe that all this time that MTI has been in business, they were running their business the way that they were. The last drivers meeting I went to, Marcus Catino was saying that they finally paid for IFTA, and I was just like, what the hell? Like, I paid for IFTA when I had buses. Off the top, I paid for IFTA. Off the top, oh my God, you had to go to the DMV and pay for it. You had to get, even if you didn't even want to pay for the whole year, you had to pay for it by the month in California. What the hell? Oh my God, the stuff that I have heard since I've been in Georgia. Not all the companies that I've worked for, but this one in particular, because this is the one I was at the longest, 4 years. Just imagine well, I don't know what's going to happen with them, because when you get bad ratings from your DOT inspections, it's basically lights out for you. So I don't know, but this is the craziest thing that I've ever saw in my life. The stuff that's going on at this company, and just the mere fact that you have the balls to just not even care that you are hiring people that don't have the license. And then for Atrice Baker to lie and say that I was lying on the news. And the thing that everybody would always tell me when I tell them about using drivers that didn't have commercial license and you driving people around, the number one thing that Mike would say, Atrice would say, Marcus never said that to me, I will say that, but Atrice and Mike would say to me, well, don't you worry about it, you let us worry about it. Well, I really want to ask you now, who's worried about it now? Because listen, this is about to blow up and to be something that I did not even think it would ever be, because I really had no confidence in the state of Georgia when it came to commercial drivers. But I tell you this, I have confidence in them now that they do their job. I really did. I really just thought they just sat on their asses, but it looks like the state of Georgia actually does do their job, and it looks like the city of College Park does their job. To be continued. When I get the official charges, I'm going to write them down and look them up so I can give you the motor vehicle code number by it, or the federal carrier code by it, so that you can see, oh wow, this is very, very, very intriguing.